People of the internet, tonight we have breaking news because Brendan Schaub has just ended the podcast, The Fighter and the Kid. And today we are going to see that ending. But before we do, please like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications. Let's get to it right meow.
I'm an OG TFAK listener, so I have to be honest. I can tell you and Brian both do not like doing the podcast anymore. Both of you look generally miserable sitting through the podcast for the last couple of years, but definitely since moving to Austin. Brian is too mad at the world and serious now. He's not a philosopher. Brendan, he's obviously is not going to get his light back. So my question to you is, why do you still do it? And does he get annoyed listening to Brian complain about ticket sales, but does things like have Andrew Wilson on his podcast talk about Christianity? In all honesty, as a lifelong fan, take a break for a while.
Damn, now that's did he read these beforehand? He read that on his live stream. Jesus. You know, Brendan is really having to come to terms with all the things he's done, all the things he said, the relationships he's ruined, you know, making the stupid move to move out to Austin. You could just see it in the last couple episodes. It is just breaking him down. And I mean, I guess, you know, that's the point you come to when you act like that. We all kind of come to these hard points and they're really heavy, but Brendan has had a lot of slack in that rope. But this thing is old, tight now. And it's leading to something like this. Man. I did that video yesterday on his career ending. And today, it's ending. For real. Whoa!
And this Adam says, on the show they're chatting like brothers they are. I don't think they care much for views. They just do it because they love it, and we all who love them and support them along the time should appreciate it. Advice, if you don't like it anymore, don't watch it. Simple. That's him saying it. Mm-hmm. Go back to the question. Mm-hmm. I can tell you and Brian don't like doing the podcast anymore. Generally miserable sitting through it. Brian's too mad at the world and he's serious now, not a philosopher. He's not gonna get his light back. God, Hunter, this is a loaded one, Bubba. How do I answer this? How would you answer this, Jen? Before I get into it, how would you answer? Yeah, I think there's some nuggets here. There's some truth. Yeah, there's some nuggets here. Yeah, I think that's why it's hard for me to answer. But it's bullshit saying like, oh, you guys are miserable doing the podcast. This is something that we always enjoy doing. It's just like sometimes we're all going through some shit. I disagree, and I think there's some truth to that too. No, but miserable every single time you're sitting here. No, I don't think he's saying every time. No, what I'm saying is like, to be fair to this Hunter kid, there's days I come in here, I'm like, yeah, by the way, that's life. I mean, there's days I come in here, I feel like shit, you know, like, and people can probably tell. You can tell. Like, I'll smile and stuff, and you'll come, or you'll text me later, like, hey, is everything all good, dude? Yeah. So we have our shit going on in our lives. Like, you can't be fucking every single day. It's tough. And right now is like one of the, tougher moments because, we're transitioning to this new thing. And like, of course, we have to worry about sponsorship and all this stuff. So that shit's heavy, that's my point of view on that. But it's like to say it's like, oh, fuck, I got to go into work. Oh, fuck this shit. It's not like that.
You know what Chen is doing right now? He's trying to convince Brendan not to end it so he doesn't lose his job. And, who wouldn't be doing the same thing? This guy just had to move out to Austin, Texas, and that's just how that shit is. You leave the place you lived for years, you move out, you think everything's going to be better, and you lose your job. You ever been in that? Where you like leave a job and you take another job, and then it's just total hell, or you have to leave or whatever? It's just how life is, man. Life is cruel, and I feel bad for Chen. Because this dude and Brian dragged his ass out there, and now what? Now what's going to happen? He's going to lose his job producing this, and like he's going to have to figure it out. This is crazy. I thought Brendan was going to hang on to this podcast till like, you know, the bitter end, but apparently not.
I think there's some truth is what he's saying. Yeah, I think the same. Yeah, I think there's some truth. I don't know what to do, Bubba. I don't know what to do. Fighter the Kid, and I've explained this to Chan and Brian, we hit singles every week. We hit singles. Back in the day, we hit triples and home runs. Now we're hitting singles. And I'm okay with that. And I love doing the show. And I'm loyal to a default. As far as Brian's light, I don't know what it is. I don't. Obviously, we know the shit that he's been through. But I think when the show started, me and Brian were different people. So when people go, "Oh, you've changed," absolutely, man, absolutely. I'm not out at night. I'm not in the comedy scene. I'm not booking guests and doing that stuff anymore. And that was my job for 10 years on the show. If you ever saw a guest, it's because I booked it. It was through me. Brian's never been, Brian doesn't, and it's not, there's no, not mad at him. And when Brian's at the Comedy Mothership, the last thing on his mind is booking a guest for the Fighter and the Kid. He doesn't even think of it, and he never has. And I think with what Brian went through, he obviously views life through a different lens. And just the dynamics of the show is different. It's different. Straight up, it's different. As far as miserable, no. If I was miserable, trust me, I don't have to do this show. I have other means. Not miserable. Some days it's tough. Some days it's very tough. I'll give you that, Bubba. Some days it's tough.
I'm just curious, you know, just throwing it out there. Why do these guys always do this shit on camera? You know, you see a question like that, that's a personal question. That's a question like he's saying things without Brian there. He, you know, that's something you got to do. I'm just putting it out there, but why do these guys always got to put their personal shit out there like that? It's just absolutely crazy. You know, there are content creators subscribed to this Patreon just for shit like this. And they keep doing it to themselves. I mean, Brendan, you know, have a conversation behind closed doors. You know, let stuff settle in. Think about it. Do you really want to do this? Because this is what I could see, right? Is like, this comes back, right? There's another episode after this, and you're like, you know, either way, it doesn't matter. Honestly, I'm just glad that I do like content on this guy every couple of months, because if this was my main source of content, losing it, man.
And I think Brian and Chin, I've told them this, you have to be okay with hitting singles. The days of triples and home runs, those days are gone. They will never come back. And that's okay. We're not a guest-driven show these days. Back in the day, we had a lot of guests. Even when we didn't have guests, the show would do well. Those days are done for a variety of reasons.
Nobody wants to come on the show.
But if we were to stop today, we've had a great fucking run. Mm-hmm. And we've been doing it, whatever, 13 years now. Think about your favorite show. Going on for 13 years, it's tough, dude. It's fucking tough. So my whole, to wrap all this up, if we decide to stop doing it today, I'm so proud of what we've done. We're one of the originators. We're OGs. We made a ton of fucking money. We've inspired and had fun and made a lot of people laugh. You've been with us on our highs and our lows, and it's all good. By every stretch of imagination, this show's a major success. We did it, dude. Mm-hmm. We did some great things. I don't know what the future holds. I do not know, and that's okay. I think the conversation for Brian would be, why are you still doing it? And if it's just for money, then we should have a talk. Yeah. You know?
This is why you say things behind closed doors, because they talk about if this is it And then, like, to put Brian on blast like that, this is why shit is ending, brother. You can't. When it comes to business, right, you should only get into business with very good people. Business relationships get fucking crazy, right? But this is why, and the purpose is because you need someone mature enough to handle these things behind closed doors. If you're public, if you have a big sway on the world or a big product or, you know, a big impact on a market or something, or any kind of impact, really, you need to hash all this out behind closed doors. And you don't come out here and have a drama session or put this information out on a Patreon live stream. You write up a statement. You don't put any emotion. You have someone else draft a statement for why things are ending, and you walk out like this. If you really don't want any drama, you have to be professional. But this is crazy. Like, we haven't heard Brian's side of the story, and he's like, well, almost assuming that Brian, because some fucking person in their comments said something, right? And now you're putting that on Brian when you're the actual person that has a relationship, not some fucking super fan that, like, you know, watches all your shit and puts their fucking, you know, whatever kind of 2 cents in the comments. Like, it's crazy. And this whole thing, what's even crazier is he is going in to all of the specifics on the fly about a huge life altering question and decision. And he's doing it because some fucking weirdo said something in a question. Do you not see why you have come to many of these points, Brendan Schaub? And all of us, we have failures where we come to these decisions where we mess up, we got to own up, and we got to move on better. But Brendan, it's like a cyclical thing. It's like quarterly. Brendan is having another one of these crises. And now this thing, you got to give him some respect. 13 years. He did this for 13 years. And he wants to put everything on the line for some guy's fucking question on Patreon. $5, that's all it costs me to get access to all of your personal fucking problems and thoughts. And also, now Brian is going to see this, and now he's going to feel exactly like I did about this. And now you already going into a life or death business decision for your business over a fucking question on Patreon or a comment. And you saying shit like this is already going to create problems with that conversation that you're going to have. You can't avoid it. At some point, you're going to have to make a decision. And you're also proclaiming an end of the show. If this is it, if we stop right here, right? And Brian isn't even a part of it. You see why I hate office gossip? Because that's exactly what they're fucking doing. And he's right. He probably did. Right there. Create an end with Brian. Regardless of how Brian feeling, something like that after 13 years to give so little respect to your business partners, and your employee Chen to do this shit. This is why, Brendan.
So, yeah, great question, though, dude. That got heavy. Yeah. I mean, he did definitely have some stuff. But it's the elephant in the room. But Brian's had some stuff. People go through stuff. You've got to move on. Otherwise, they won already. If it's going to affect you every day, and now it's become this dark cloud on us, too, buddy, then we got to stop doing the show. It's not just, by the way, it's not just Brian, though. But people on the show have been through stuff. It's not just Brian. There's been other things that have happened here as well. So, and we get over it. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I appreciate the way you look at this stuff. We have to, we said this before on this Patreons, but we have to, we tell Brian all the time, like, let go. Like, that shit was then. Nothing crazy. Like, no one's thinking about you that way every single day. We tell them all the time. It just has to. So it's up to Brian to change that part of the way he thinks. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. No, I do know. He's 60. Here's the thing. Like, the people saying, oh, that he's 60. No. He's 60. By the way, when we talk about this stuff, yes, you had to tell me certain things, and I'm like, no. And then finally, after years and years of being here, I'm like, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Hopefully, I'm just saying, hopefully, knock on wood, this particular thing will fucking somehow like dissipate a little bit. I don't know. Shannon, it was 5 years ago, buddy. Yeah, but that's a huge thing you went through. 5 years? It's a huge thing. Get over fucking their loved ones dying faster than this. 5 years? I'm just more positive, man. I don't know. But yeah, I'm more realistic, but I'm also, okay. Yeah, then this is what it is. Exactly. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'm cool. Yeah. I'm good. The accomplishments are insane. Yeah. I'd say how much right now.
Damn, guys. Damn. Let's look at, man, guys, that is tough. They were just sitting there shit talking Brian, right? And this isn't my personal feelings on Brian or Schaub here. Just looking at this like a business decision, that's terrible. And then to make matters worse, and people get over things in different times and whatever, and we may or may not agree with the same sentiment that he's setting out there, but you don't sit. Both of them were gossiping about Brian. Hopefully they do one more episode where Brian's on and all hell breaks loose. All hell breaks loose. This is just crazy. I understand, why you don't have guests on. Why your business. You can't do these things. When you're in business with somebody, you cannot do these things. If you get into business with somebody and you sign that dotted line to make you guys a partnership or whatever it is, you have to deliver by your word. And you also have to have your partners back. The gossip thing in businesses is the number one killer of businesses. It's stupid people too. But I just think it's so bad. It is so bad. When I used to work for people, I mean, it's so hard to deal with this stuff. But towards the end of working for other people, I would just go into work and say, I don't care. I don't want to hear about it. I'm here to do a job from this time to this time. I'm out. Don't put me in it. Because when you say your opinion, like, people use that shit against you. I just think this is starting off on a bad foot. But he did it for 13 years. And this is the end, apparently. Who knows? I'm hoping for one more episode. But it seems like this is, Brian might not want to come back on after that shit talking. But since it's been 13 years and it's provided a lot of people with content and stuff to make fun of, mainly, I'm going to honor the fighter and the kid as just because I want to. And I've got a surprise to do it. People of the internet, whether we loved him or we hated him, Brendan Schaub provided years of entertainment and plenty of content to make fun of him. And whether you like him or whether you hate him, we have to honor him. It's only fair. A foe has fallen. A competitor has been lost in the battle, but we will still honor him here today. And you know who else we will honor? The homeless cats. For always staying on top of them. Though you may wander and be lost astray, always remember what you guys accomplished together and take that throughout your life and keep accomplishing more things. So in honor of the homeless cats, we got you a homeless man to send you on your way. Your final song to Brendan Schaub, that other guy, and to the homeless cats. Always remember the fighter and the kid. And if you have a glass or a joint or a nice tasty beverage, Raise it in the air to them and light it up for one last song. Goodbye, Brendan.
We belong together, and you know that I'm right. Why do you play with my heart? Why do you play with my mind? You say to be forever, say it never dies. How could